down 13 pounds in 20 days, combining the power of the carnivore diet with semaglutide. Let's get started. My name is Angela. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I upload videos here to help you with your weight loss journey by sharing transparently with the struggles and learnings that I have found along the way in my path. So at my highest weight, I have weighed 210 pounds and I am 5'2" and a half. So I'm petite, and currently right now I weigh 180.2. When I started the carnivore diet this go around, I weighed 193.2. So I'm down exactly 13 pounds, and today is the 20th day I've been doing this. This video, I'm gonna tell you several things. I literally was like, this is my script. This is what I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about why I'm doing this, the results that I've had, the fitness and the health stuff, like, exercise, that kind of thing, a typical day of what I eat, like what I'm eating in a day, and tracking calories. Let's talk about that, and what is my long-term goal and plan. So I'm going to encourage you to listen to this like a podcast, because this is a live stream. This is not one of those flashy video editing, whoo-hoo sound effects. Like, I've noticed that those have really taken over YouTube, and I just love a podcast. Like, I love an old school, let's sit down, let's hear stream of consciousness thoughts. That's what I'm gonna give you today, because your girl's busy. I have a kid, I have a job, I have a diet that I'm working on, I exercise, and it takes a long time to do those edits. So I was like, I'd rather just go live with you. So let's first talk about why I'm doing this, because first of all, let me just say, I think I've only found one person on YouTube that is talking about the combination that I'm talking about here, and that is carnivore plus meds. And not just any med, but like semaglutide, which is the generic form of Ozempic or Monjuaro. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I did not come to this decision lightly. If you follow me on my social media, especially here on YouTube, you will know that I have been up and down because I suffer from binge eating disorder. It is an active eating disorder where I just feel out of control and powerless over food. If you don't have it, you don't know what I'm talking about. You do not have the brain compulsion. It is a compulsion. It is literally like a serious addiction. I don't want to minimize it at all. I don't want to be like, oh, it's not comparable to alcoholism or gambling or whatever. Like, it's literally an actual addiction, and you can feel powerless even though you know you logically have power over the food. You are literally feeling compulsive about biologically stuffing your face with food. So I felt like I had done carnivore before, and this has been probably about 3 or 4 months ago. I had done it for 3 weeks straight, really strict on it. Felt so good. I don't remember how much I lost, but I do remember the amazing health benefits. I think I even did a YouTube video about the surprising benefits of carnivore, and it's just everything from better mental clarity, better energy, better sleep, better mood. Even though I'm always a happy person, this has made me super happy. Obviously the weight loss is an amazing benefit, which is the reason why I'm doing it. I'm blessed that I don't suffer from type 2 diabetes or any other major health issues. I just was trying to lose weight, right? So that's the reason, in a nutshell, why I'm doing these two together, because I've done the carnivore diet before, but because of binge eating disorder, I kept falling off. And then every time I would try to get back on carnivore, let me just tell you, it was I just can't. I will start and I'll eat a carnivore breakfast and a carnivore lunch, and then all of a sudden at 3 p.m. at work, somebody will bring some Cuban pastries. You know what I'm talking about? With the guava and the cheese, and I will just eat 3 of them, literally 3. A normal person would be like, oh, I had lunch, I'm gonna have half. I ate 3. So I'm not to be trusted. You know what I'm saying? So I also have done semaglutide before. This has been probably a little more than a year ago. I talked about it on my TikTok. I documented, on TikTok, and just how much I lost. I think I lost about 20 to 25 pounds. The problem was I gained it back. So I am fully aware of semaglutide and what it does and the benefits, the pros and cons. And I have a lot of friends who have taken semaglutide and gained back every pound. I also have some friends, not as many as the ones who gained it back, but I have some friends who've used it and have kept it off. Those are the friends I'm asking, what did you do? Tell me the secrets. And there have been several tips from them saying don't fall into the trap of eating too little. Don't minimize your calories where you're only having 1,200 calories a day or 1,000 calories a day. Don't let your body eat its muscle. We'll talk about that in this video, but I definitely feel those are the people I'm trying to model myself after, because those are the ones who've made the long-term habit changes that keep their weight loss sustained. You see, that's very important. All right, so the results that I've had, I do believe, are abnormal for a couple of reasons. One, I was on my period when I first had the 193, so I feel a lot of it, 3 to 4 pounds, was probably just straight up water weight bloat. So I just want to be fully transparent about that, because saying 13 pounds is dramatic, but it's also well, the weight was kind of up but you guys know how your body does when you're a woman and you have your cycle and it just fluctuates anywhere from, 2 to 4 pounds regularly. So just wanted to say that transparently and honestly. But I do believe that the last like 8 to 10 pounds have been like because of, the diet and because of the meds. So what semaglutide does is, for me, it helps me feel fuller faster. That's number one. So I'm satisfied with less. Number two, most importantly, it helps with my cravings. Like, cravings are non-existent. Like, they're just not happening. Like, I can look at food that in the past I felt like had a grip on me and I couldn't walk away. And I look at it and I'm like, I'm good. I was holding an Oreo for my son's class and I was looking at it and I was like, I have no desire to eat this Oreo. Whereas my binge brain in the past, a month ago would have been like, girl, taste it, just one. And then I'm derailed. So I definitely feel like the cravings disappearing has been the biggest benefit. So that's number two. Number three, it keeps the food in my stomach longer. I believe, I'm not a medical expert, but I believe that semaglutide helps you take longer to digest your food. So you feel fuller longer. So that's helpful. I've enjoyed that. I definitely feel like I don't feel the need to eat every 2 to 3 hours that I typically do. Typically I would eat like, 5 times a day. It's been convenient. Now I'm eating like 4 times a day. I know that doesn't sound like much, but if like you don't have to eat as frequently, even just taking away one meal is really great because then you can just keep focused on your work or whatever you need to do. So for me, that's been good. All right, so next I want to talk about fitness and health stuff, like the other things that I've been doing. So for me, I've always pretty much been active. I definitely feel like exercise is not a thing for me. Like, I tend to be anywhere from like 2 to 4 times a week into exerciser. Now I've been upping it a little bit, not like crazy, but I've been upping it where I'm trying to exercise 5, maybe 6 days a week if I'm lucky, but usually more like 4 to 5. And I think I've been consistent with like the 5 days a week for the past like 3 weeks. It's been like 5 days a week, sometimes 6. So the program that I'm doing is the Beachbody on Demand. I don't know if you are familiar with that, but I'm sure you've heard of the program Pre-90X. That's a Beachbody program. Beachbody like has these little programs, like these systems and these series of like, Slim in 6, and it's 6 weeks of exercise, and 21-day fix where you do 21 days of these exercises, and they're really targeted programs. It's like full body, today you work your upper body, tomorrow your lower body, today you do some stretching, et cetera, et cetera. So I've been doing the Beachbody on Demand program called Fire and Flow. I have really been enjoying it. It's a combo of like cardio strength training one day, and then the next day it's like toning, like, you get your bands and you do like some more like muscle work, but a lot of stretching. So I have been loving that. I have been modifying the moves. Sometimes I'm feeling feisty and I'll do some jumps, but it makes me drip sweat. Today I did the cardio workout and I was just modifying everything. I was like, I'm not in the mood to jump around. I'm not gonna be doing these jumps, but I will do these steps, like just kind of steps and stuff. And so the fitness is there for me. Another thing I wanna talk about is I'm really gonna try to get more into walking, because I have heard so many people who have absolutely transformed their physiques straight up through just getting 10,000 steps a day. So I was like, you know what? Walking's easy. You don't have to put on gym clothes. You don't even have to put on special shoes. Just like get supportive shoes and like walk around the block until you hit your 10,000 steps. I have an Apple Watch. Your phone could even track your steps for you. So that's something I want to get more into. Sometimes, not that frequently, only like once or twice a month, I will go to the gym and I'll do like a treadmill walk on level 7 incline at like a slower speed, like 2.5 speed, nothing crazy, but the incline gets me nice and sweaty after 20-30 minutes. So I'll do that. Sometimes I'll ride my bike with my son, but I think that for the most part, the Fire and Flow is like my exercise, right? So I did want to talk about that. I also have a vibration plate, and I don't know if you've ever heard of those, but it's something that you can just stand on and it vibrates and it helps stimulate your lymphatic drainage, which can help you lose weight and shed toxins. I have only done that once this past month. I'd like to do it more. Honestly, after I do this YouTube live, I should go do it, because just doing even 10 minutes, they say it's equivalent to like a 20 or 30 minute like jog. So who doesn't love that? I love efficiency. So I want to talk about that. Okay, now let's dive into a typical what I eat in a day. So I'm going to show you this steak just because I brought it for a little prop. I love a steak, but lately I've actually been wanting to do less steak. I've been craving more seafood, and I don't know if my body's like, hey girl, you're good on fat, because you need to listen to your body and honor your body and like what you're craving and like what you're, what sounds good to you. So I think steaks, for me, I'm kind of hitting a wall where I'm like, okay, I've done a lot of steaks, but I'd like to do more seafood. So for breakfast this morning, don't judge me. I went to Whole Foods yesterday and I spent a lot of money, okay? I have a job. You know, my husband also works, so we're a double income family. So I did go do some splurging at Whole Foods. So y'all don't talk about me. Mama works hard for the money, okay? So I got some lobster. But that lobster was only $11. It was like the claws. That was so good. I made a hollandaise sauce, ate that for breakfast. And then for lunch, I just had crab. And it's funny because you think lobster and then that's like super expensive. Ironically, the crab was way more expensive than the lobster. It was $28. Literally for lunch, I ate $28 worth of crab. But again, don't judge me. I went to my friend's birthday party at like a Latino restaurant, you know, where they've got like all the chips and stuff like that. I didn't have that lunch with them because number one, I wasn't that hungry at that point. Number two, I wanted to save money because I was like, I just spent a lot of money at Whole Foods. I have $28 worth of crab meat waiting for me at home. So I just dropped her gift off, hugged everybody, took some pictures, and then came home and wanted to eat my lunch. And so what I had for lunch today was the crab meat, like the whole container, which was only like 200 calories for that whole container, mixed with half a tablespoon of Kerrygold salted butter, and I threw some Old Bay seasoning on that. So that was my lunch. Then I made a hot cocoa with Element. You guys know Element, LMNT. I wish I had a packet with me right here to show you, but you guys know all about it. All the carnivore influencers are always sponsored by Element. Element does not want to sponsor me. I think I'm too small for them. I'm too much of a micro influencer. They were not interested in working with me because I was like, hey, do you want to send me a free packet and I'll talk about it? But I buy it. Like I literally spend the money out of my pocket to buy Element because I do enjoy it. It is getting some hate right now because it has trace amounts of maltodextrin. Doesn't bother me. Again, I'm not somebody that has any health issues, but please be aware of that just because that's making the rounds right now. There's a Facebook page called the World Carnivore Tribe that a lot of people are going crazy about, like, oh my gosh, Element, it hid the ingredients, it's natural flavors, but it's maltodextrin, and if you have sensitivity, you need to know. So just putting that out there as a public service announcement, but for me, it doesn't bother me. I'm good. I don't mind artificial sweeteners, all fine. Again, trace amounts. So I'll put that in some hot water, and then I'll put in a tablespoon of heavy whipping cream, which is exactly what I did. So I got a nice little 50-calorie snack. Because only the heavy whipping cream has 50 calories. So I said snack, but like a dessert. Like I tend to like a dessert after lunch. I don't need one after breakfast. I don't need one after dinner, but after lunch, I'm like, where's my sweet? So that's helpful. So that's, and then dinner will probably be, I don't know yet. I had made a casserole yesterday with ground beef and some eggs and some cheese. So maybe that, or maybe more seafood. I don't know yet. I'm just going to kind of see how I feel. So that's kind of a typical day of eating. I do drink coffee in the morning. Yesterday and today I put butter in the coffee, so I'm kind of back on that butter kick. Again, I do put some Element in my coffee. For a while, I was doing, and oh, by the way, I forgot, half a scoop of collagen peptides. I do the Garden of Life collagen peptides, just, 10 grams of protein, gives you that, for your strong, healthy hair and nails. I will tell you for a very long time, like for the past 3 weeks, I have been doing Coffee Mate, which is completely not carnivore. It's basically like the opposite of carnivore. It is like corn syrup solids, but like sugar-free Coffee Mate. I was doing a half a tablespoon in my coffee in the morning, and I've since cut that out and just switched to the butter yesterday and today. Just wanted to see what my body will do with it. Let's be real. One of the downfalls of carnivore is that you can have like explosive diarrhea. I'm so thankful that it hasn't been so bad for me this time, just because I think the semaglutide is preventing it. With semaglutide, it's an interesting thing. With semaglutide, you can get constipated. With carnivore, you can get like water diarrhea. Like it's just like water's coming out of you. So to combine these two, I feel like I'm okay. Like it's like, this is a side effect I did not expect. So interesting little thing. I know it's probably TMI, but listen, you got to talk about this stuff because if you don't know, you don't know. And I'm going to tell you so that you know if you're going to try this. All right. So then the next thing we're going to talk about is, tracking calories. We didn't talk about this. So for a while I was tracking calories. I think I was under eating, which is probably also a very strong contributing factor to the rapid weight loss. I definitely feel like that's not a good long-term strategy because, again, I'm active and I want to preserve my muscle. So if you're having like 1,000 calories, not good, because then your body's going to eat the muscle, which is like the most efficient way to get energy, right? So I've been making a point. I had tracked my calories for a while, and it was like one day I would have 1,200, then the next day I would have like 1,350, and then the next day I'd have 1,500. So I would try to cycle, right? Like the bodybuilding technique of like 12, 13, 1,500. I haven't been tracking for the past week, so I have no idea what I've been eating. I do feel like I have been under eating, probably less than 1,200 calories. So like yesterday and today, I've been really like, Angela, you gotta eat. You gotta eat. And that's what a lot of doctors who recommend semaglutide or Ozempic or Monjuaro will tell you. They're like, you have to force yourself to eat. Again, that's what my friends who had long-term success using the medications told me. They weren't just doing what a lot of people do, and I'm not judging those who've done that because that's what I did last time with semaglutide a year ago. But when you take semaglutide, you could eat whatever you want, just smaller amounts. And some people are doing that. And so I was eating like a lot of sweets the first go around because food was off-putting to me. And so it wasn't good. I was like, I don't want that food. I don't want it. And so this go around, first of all, I haven't even told y'all how much I'm dosing. I have dosed 0.15, so very, very, very little. Let's talk about that too, because right now the recommended dose to start is usually 0.25. I was like, number one, I want to save money. Number two, with Carnivore, it's kind of like a natural Ozempic. It's kind of that like natural appetite suppressant. If you do a keto diet, your appetite will be naturally suppressed because you have stabilized blood sugar. So it's literally like, I don't need that much and I don't want to spend that much money because this stuff, it's not cheap, folks, okay? This one I got online, and I'll be honest with you, I do not remember what the service was that I got it. Now, having said that, when this is gone, I think I have probably like at least another month or month and a half to 2 months of it. I have another bottle waiting for me in the fridge, and I am not recommending this to anybody. I'm not a medical professional. I do not have any authority. That's my disclaimer. I used Treetop Health, and I don't have it in the description box right now, but I'll go back after this live and put it in there. I think it's like treetophealth.com. Google it, you'll find it. I had found out about it on a Reddit thread where somebody was like, I'd get semaglutide and it's $200 a month. And I was like, what? I could do 200. I don't want to do 350. I don't want to do 450. I can do 200. 50 bucks a week. I'm okay with that. That's like one less meal out from my husband and me. So I did the Treetop Health. I just filled out the survey, told them my height and weight. You know, obviously I'm a candidate for this med because, you know, overweight, in the obese category. So got the prescription, came in the mail, no problem. So that's waiting on me. So that Treetop Health one is ready for me to go as soon as this one is gone. And so I, at this time, plan to stick with 0.15. I do not plan to go up to 0.25 because if I can stretch this out longer. Oh, and another technique I'm doing as well is I'm stretching the days between my injections. Like I'm not doing a once a week. I'm doing like once every 8 to 10 days. Again, just like stretching it out. And for me, I want to take it when I need it. Like if I can make it 10 days and I haven't had any cravings, I'm good. But then if suddenly I feel a craving, I'm like, oh, let me take a little dose. Let me do a little 0.15, then I'm good to go. All right, next, this is my last topic I'll talk about is what is the long-term goal and plan? So my long-term weight goal is to get below 150. If I'm lucky, I'll get to 135. Again, I'm 5'2", so I don't need to be carrying all this weight on me, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like it's something that is doable and I've done it before. I just want to lose down and keep it off. And I will say I have a little concerns about like the 135 or if I even got thinner than that because I'm like, I would be afraid that I would yo-yo back up. So for me, if I can get down to 150 and just like maintain that, that would be ideal. And then the long-term plan, as of right now, should my budget allow it, I will just plan to take semaglutide forever. Again, doing the low dose and stretching it out like 10 days in between doses so that I'm not spending a crazy ton of money, like, you know, because what happens usually, a lot of times people will go up their dose. Like they'll start at 0.25 and then after a month or two, they'll go to 0.5 and then 0.75 and then they're doing like a full milliliter. And I'm like, that's when you're going to spend a lot of money. So for me, I want to keep the dosage low. And if I can afford it, I'd like to keep going on it. So that's in a nutshell, everything's been happening for me over a while. I am sorry I don't post as frequently on YouTube as I used to. Just again, I've been busy with work. I'm in this phase of my life where I'd rather enjoy like reading a book on the couch than make a YouTube video because it is very hard and very time consuming to make YouTube videos, especially like the record and then edit, you know. I love it. I am a former news anchor and reporter, so that's in my blood. But I just think right now, giving myself that break. So I can do more of these live streams if you guys like it. So comment below if you want to see more of this type of content because I can absolutely commit to more lives. I just don't see me at this time committing to like once a week, twice a week. I'm going to do, you know, record and upload and make it flashy editing. I just don't see that happening. So anyway, for those of you who are on your weight loss journey, I would love to hear in the comments what you are doing that's working because I am here for all the diverse perspectives. And I totally understand if there are people out there that are concerned about like the two powerful combination because each of these, you know, semaglutide and carnivore, both of them are enough for fast weight loss. And then you combine both of them. It's like, oh my gosh, right? Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one. Let me shut you off. Bye.